What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subscribed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room, hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this politics and BS. Listen, what in the world is going on with Donald Trump? Now, some people have their speculations, and there are people in the medical field that are licensed, educated, and experienced to give a diagnosis on what they believe is going on with him. But I'm going to let you listen to these clips of this past weekend, some different rallies that he attended and speeches that he was giving. And I don't know what the heck is going on, but the reason why I want to share it, and I want to get your thoughts on it, and I will be sharing more when it comes to politics and BS, because whether you're political or not, whether you see yourself as a Democrat, a Republican, a Libertarian, a liberal, conservative, an independent, or none of the above, which I'm not, you cannot escape it, because if you are a citizen of the United States, or if you're just here on a visa, I don't know, you're not a citizen, but you're living and working in this country, you will be affected whether you like it or not. So whether you choose to vote or not, it's up to you. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do, if they choose to do it, who to vote for, who not, but you will experience it. And we're living in a time right now where I just believe that things are really crazy. And this is a point in history where it looks like the two options to vote for are going to be a man who's in his 80s that has definite slips of the tongue and has some missteps and slips and falls and all of that good stuff that people in their 80s usually do. Or someone who is almost 80, who has, I don't know how many charges racked up against him, has been found liable for RAPE and sexual assault, has to pay this woman over $84 million, has been found liable in court for having defrauded the state of New York in business, owes a good chunk of money, but is looking for a way out, and so many other things are up against him, and he could possibly be the president again. So it's just absolutely insane to me. So whether you like it or not, this is a moment in history that we are all experiencing, and so I'm going to talk about it. And so let's just go ahead and get into what Trump had to say.
Venezuela. Did you just see Maduro? Venezuela, it's unbelievable. We're getting rid of the Romneys of the world. We want to get Romneys and those out. But they know that we are the only ones who can stop them. We're the only ones. This is the greatest movement in the history of our country, maybe in the history of any country. Even Argentina, they went MAGA. You know Argentina, great guy. He's a big Trump guy. He loves Trump. I love him because he loves Trump. When he called, I took his call. Anybody that loves me, I like them. I said, Abdul, he's still there. He's the head of the Taliban. He said, you're killing our soldiers. Don't do it anymore because terror will rain down on you. And he called you, yes, Your Highness. He called me Your Highness, which is interesting. We are a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat your...
What was that? What was that? He is really off in a number of places, and I want to share what some people had to say with regards to what in the world is going on with him, because he has called Biden Obama. And then he wanted to come out later to say, oh, that's what I meant, because what I really mean is Obama's actually running the country. The fact that people even really believe that Obama wants to continue to be in that position anymore, I'm not here to say that he did everything right or that he did as much as he could. I'm not even here to root for him. But do you really believe that Obama wants to be in the position of being president again? The only one that really wants to continue to be president after they have been able to serve the 8-year limit that a president can serve, because you can only serve 2 terms and 1 term is 4 years, is Trump, because he wants to be king. Did you hear when he said that someone called him Your Highness? This is what he wants. And that's why it's just really baffling to me when I see so many glazed-eyed people in these rallies sitting there wearing the shirts, wearing the hats, and talking about they want 4 more years of this, because if you get 4 more years of this, it's possible that this man may die in the presidency well after the 4 years is up. Because I don't know about you guys, but it seems to me that evil tends to live a very long time. I mean, look at Strom Thurmond. He used to be a senator for the state that I'm from, South Carolina. This man was being wheeled into Congress, half out of his mind, just still breathing, but not really alive. And people voted him back into office. And he was pretty much a corpse. If this man is president again, it's going to be like a Weekend at Bernie's sort of situation where people are going to be propping him up. And he's going to be saying a lot of things that are just going to be complete insanity. You thought we had insanity before? Just look out. But let me share some things that some other people had to say about this lunacy.
And thank you for saying get rid of the Romneys in the Republican Party. That is torn out of Carrie Lake's book of loserdom. That's where it'll lead you. But also, again, against all this madness and unfortunately an old man who is losing his ability to communicate, he's praising the Taliban leader for calling him Your Highness. I mean, tell us, wrap up that speech for us, if you would, Charlie Sykes. How do you?
Well, what fresh hell. Unfortunately, I'm not a psychiatrist here. What's on display is that, okay, Joe Biden is old, but the other guy is deranged, demented, and pathetic, as you point out, not to mention dangerous. And this is on display. And, as we're sitting here talking about this, we're less than 48 hours away from that guy clinching the Republican presidential nomination. The Republicans have one last offer, and they're not going to take it. They look at this guy, and this is the extraordinary thing, is that Republicans look at him, and I don't have to repeat all the things, he's been found liable for rape. He's facing 91 felony charges. You have these kinds of, this gaseous malice that you get from these gaffe-filled speeches, and they're looking at him thinking, yeah, we'd like 4 more years of that. So, if there's any upside here, is that Joe Biden will be able to say, yeah, I'm old. I'm very stiff when I walk, but this guy is also old, and he's crazy, and he's dangerous, and he is incoherent. He needs to make that point. The other maybe upside is that, now that there's no way of denying the fact that it's going to be Donald Trump again, it'll focus the mind. And I agree with you, Joe, that I think Democrats need to stop the bedwetting, but they need to get out of the bed, and they need to freak out a little bit, because the reality is maybe this is what it will take for them to realize this guy could become president of the United States. This could actually happen, and maybe we ought to treat that threat, the way it ought to be treated. If it's an existential threat, let's start acting like it's an existential threat. So stop the bedwetting, but maybe a little bit of freak out wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Wow, so you heard those sentiments. I would really love to know what you guys think about this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section respectfully. Thanks for being here, liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and I'm going to say bye.